Welcome to another edition of AI and Finance demo version. Again, this is where we look at the landscape of AI tools and the ecosystem of AI tools and learn about them, but apply them and create practical scenarios of what they mean for wealth management for us specifically. And today I'm super excited because this is actually a tool I literally stumbled upon today. I have a running list of all different tools, and I decided to just open this one up, and it was super interesting. This is a tool called PageOn. The website is PageOn AI, and it's a simple tool. I think it's still pretty early, but it was super interesting to see. Now, this tool creates presentations. It's similar to a tool that we've used in the past called Gamma, which create PowerPoint presentations. This is a little bit more robust, and what I found super interesting was the charting capability and also the layout. It's a little bit more infographic-y layout, and I found it to be really great. Let's log in here. I had already created one. I can show it to you, but I'm actually going to show you this a new one. We're going to build a new one together that I haven't ever built, and we're going to see how it looks. So we're really just going to type in our topic. So for this one, I'm going to type in a simple topic, and it's going to say, you can't read it all, but I'll read to you what it says. It says, create me a presentation for my soon-to-retire wealth management client that wants to better understand Roth conversions. They are currently in the 24% tax bracket. They want to be educated on Roth conversions and see comparisons between if they do a conversion and if they don't, and the impact on their savings. So a little bit in depth. So let's see what they've done. The other one that I did, which I'm happy to show you, was I wanted to see a comparison of the S&P 500 and the bond market for the year 2024 and the drivers that cause the returns. We'll review that one so you can see, and I played around with it because it's got some interesting AI tools in here, and you can see it's doing all these references right here, and it's generating the presentation in real time. Now, this is the default look and feel. I'll show you how you can adjust this. I am on the free version. There is a pro version that allows you to do a lot more, like export to PDF, and you have a little bit more functionality. You can do more projects. But what I found interesting was whether the information is perfect or not, it is an amazing starting point. And I felt that it was just a great tool to help our teams create better presentations. And just like that, in just a few seconds, we have the presentation. So let's just go through it real quick, see what it has, and then we'll start playing around with some different aspects of it. So options for a tax-efficient future, presented by me. Thank you. Let's see. What is a Roth conversion? Moving funds from traditional IRA to a Roth, shifting money from tax-deferred to tax-free growth, converted amount added to taxable income, tax extraordinary tax rate, pay taxes now for tax-free income later. Conversion happens in current tax year. Tax implications. So let's see. Tax impact of $100,000 traditional IRA to Roth IRA conversion. So let's see. Tax bracket is here. You can see. What are we looking at here? I don't quite understand this chart. Highlighted is the 24% tax bracket. So this is just showing different tax brackets and the tax impact on $100,000. So $24,000 in the tax bracket. So that's really interesting. You can move this around probably. No income limits. Let's see, current tax bracket assumption. Married filing jointly. Your current income. Would be within here because I said they're in the 25% tax bracket, married filing jointly. Could potentially push you into a higher bracket. There we go. No required minimum distributions. So over 20 years, a traditional IRA pre-tax would grow like this. The RMDs begin. And then a traditional IRA after tax would be here. So it's giving a little bit of a growth comparison if you were to do the conversion and how it would grow over the next 20 years. With RMD starting at 73, and it's assuming that you're 53 right now. So we can change that assumption if we want. You can see here, if we go all the way through, you can see just it provides this really interesting presentation for us. So, and it also provides all the references so that you have credibility on there as well. So it took me a second to review and understand it, but that's how all this should work. But here's the thing. I want to do some of these AI tools now. So I'm going to add an AI block, and I want to do a whiteboard. So I'm going to click here, and I want this to do something for me real quick. I want to sketch a simple, so here's my input, my prompt, sketch a simple line chart showing the difference in a $100,000 portfolio value over the next 10 years versus years without doing a Roth conversion versus doing a Roth conversion. So this is going to be like one of those UPS, whiteboard scenarios. It shows over the next 10 years. It's creating it in real time right now. Portfolio value, yeah, that's upside down. We can probably rotate that easily. It shows me what it looks like. There is the line chart for one of them and a line chart for the other. Now it's both the same line. I see that. And then I can, and it gives me a grid, traditional IRA, traditional pre-tax, after-tax, Roth conversion. And it gives me the assumptions, all of that right here. Now, when I'm done with this, look, it provides it right into, I'm going to click the X here, here. It provides it right on that page where I wanted it. So maybe I don't want it on that page, but maybe I want this as my image on this page. I can do it just right here as I wish. That I think is super interesting. The graphing capability is phenomenal. So now maybe I want to go down here and I want to add in here a data graphic, or maybe let's do a data graphic. So we're going to go in here and I want to have this be provide me breakdown of 2025. Provide me a breakdown of the 2025 U.S. tax brackets for a married filing jointly individual. And so we'll see what it comes up with. But right like that, I just provide it in, again, English, and I'm creating this application. Now, is it perfect? Now, this came back a little bit rough in my mind. So maybe I don't want this. So I'm going to go here. We're going to delete this. We're going to delete this chart. And maybe I want to use a different, maybe we try a diagram. Let's try a diagram with the same thing. Here we go. With, let's see if it does this. So I'm going to do the same, provide me a breakdown of the 2025 US tax bracket. And let's see if it fills this diagram better. But again, you can see along this way, not everything is perfect, but it gets us a lot of the way there. And it gives us a unique way of thinking about how to present this information. And we can also, once this is done, it gives us some different ideas as well. Timing your conversions, managing your bracket creep, strategies to minimize tax creep. So I'm going to do one of these as well. I'm just going to click that. And it's going to add that as well. So we have now two things going on. Let's see if this diagram is better from what it was shown. So this is interesting. Let me look into this real quick. What this is showing me is that in the 24% tax bracket, it gives me there Roth conversion impact, significant tax cost, strategic planning needed, strategic considerations, bracket management, convert up to bracket threshold, spread conversion over across years, tax loss harvesting, offset conversion taxes, timing optimization, convert in lower income years. So in these high tax impact years, they have low tax impact over here, excellent opportunity. So it gave me an interesting diagram that I would not have thought about creating, which I think is a great way. So what we can also do with this now is we can present this. So we can present this to our clients. Once we get it finalized in this way, it's a very professionally looking presentation. I can change the color dynamics if I want. So maybe this is dark matter, but maybe I want minimal white. I can change it right here. Let's see if it lets me. Maybe I'm not on the free version. I can't do it, and just like that, I brightened it up. Now it's sunlit. It's a little bit of a different color complex, a little bit more, and I can read this chart now a little bit better. I can read all the charts a little bit better. So I'm able to do that. You're able to export it. And it's just, I think, a really interesting tool of how it can be laid out. You can add different blocks. You can add images. You can add your own charts. You can add quotes, YouTube videos, whatever it may be to it. You can put lists in there. You kind of drag and drop them as you wish. I just think that this is a really interesting way to create different types of presentations. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to show you quickly the one that I created around the S&P 500 as just an option, another option, right? So this is looking at the S&P 500 and the bond market in 2024. Again, it started with that dark presentation. I added a few different elements to it, but I think that the concept is really a great concept to take from it from there. So performance analysis, S&P 500, bond market, exceptional returns. It talked about that. Bull market momentum, showed me some sector. I added that chart in. It showed me that the influence of the Magnificent Seven, it talks about the Magnificent Seven. And this is where the charting, I think, is super interesting. These are like real good looking charts from Y charts or something of that nature. And then you see these charts down here. And one of the charts I added was down here towards the bottom. And you see this chart where it has like policy adjustment, Fed, ECB October meeting. That's like a really interesting chart that a lot of teams are making. So I just thought that the charting, the organizational structure, each slide is basically like an infographic, which is really interesting. So I found this tool to be great. I think it's a great initial step. It gets you 80% of the way there, and then you have 20% that you need to edit and adjust. But 80% of the way there is great. And it also creates, just like that one diagram on that initial slide of the tax brackets, it helps us maybe think through presentation in a different way. But this is something teams can use to get that first draft for senior advisors or senior leadership to then author something up, provide it to them, and then the senior leadership can edit it. And you now have this really profound and professional presentation. So I was happy I stumbled upon this. You should go play around with it. Again, it's free. You get 2 of these presentations for free. It was a very interesting one. So check it out, PageOn. And we'll be back again soon with another AI and finance demonstration.